Hi, I'm Françoise Mouly. I'm the editorial director of TOON Books, and I'm here to talk about our fall release, which will be Black Heroes of the Wild West, a book by James Otis Smith with an introduction by KADIR Nelson. A year or two ago, I approached James because I wanted to work with him. I'd just seen his book and I was interested in working with this young upcoming artist who just illustrated the graphic novel, and I proposed that he do his own book. And originally my suggestion was that he should do, or we could do a follow-up to our graphic novels, Folktales from Latin America by Jaime Hernandez, which has been extremely successful. And maybe he wanted to do like Folktales from Africa. I was absolutely delighted surprised, but delighted when James said, sure, but I actually have a book that I want to make.
Hi, my name is James Otis Smith, and I'm the author of Black Heroes of the Wild West. I've illustrated a graphic novel before, but this is my first time as both author and illustrator. Now, we call this the Wild West, but it's not the Wild West of movies and TV. With so many cowboys, soldiers, and settlers seeking their future out west after the war, some frontier towns were made up of nothing but Black people. Nearly a third of the cowboys on the famous cattle drives were Black, and just as many were Mexican. Initially, I just wanted to make adventure stories featuring Black figures of the Old West. I think we really accepted someone into American culture when we make over-the-top entertainment about them and we turn them into legends. But there's very little that's been done with most Black people in American history, and I realized that before we get to the adventure fiction, we had to know more about their actual lives, which are pretty fascinating. So I chose Mary Fields, Bass Reeves, and Bob Lemmons, in part because their stories take place during Reconstruction. Following the Civil War, America was trying to figure out what kind of country it wanted to be. And for the first time, Black people now had that same opportunity. They had no histories, no roots, no birthdays, not even last names. Reconstruction was the first time Blacks in America could decide their own fate. And as painful and as difficult as that obviously was, I wanted to emphasize how much that drive for self-determination was so deeply American. Bass Reeves, the first Black marshal west of the Mississippi, was so dedicated to justice he arrested his own son. Some historians think his legend is the basis for the Lone Ranger. And Bob Lemmons was more than just your typical cowboy. He somehow virtually became a horse, joining their herds and bringing them safely to the corral without any of the cruelty that was typical at the time. This is Black history, yes, but it's important to recognize that this is also American history. These legends belong to all of us.